2018 will go down as one of the more historic years in local sports memory, and tonight we take a look back at some of the top headlines and stories.
You can paint the Mount Rushmore State yellow and blue. South Dakota State will dance once again.
SDSU and USD dominated the men's and women's basketball seasons, each finishing 1-2 in the regular season and each meeting in the Summit League Tournament Championship for the first time ever. The Jackrabbits would sweep the day at the Denny in front of some of the largest crowds to ever see college basketball in the state of South Dakota. Each would go into the NCAA tournament, but fall just short of first-round wins.
Desperation. Off the glass, and she got it!
2018 would be a year of national champions. The Dakota Wesleyan women went 32-6 to capture the NAIA National Championship. Northern Statesmen nearly won the Division II crown at the Pentagon, coming up 2 points short in the championship.
No! Long rebound, that's it!
Individually, SDSU's Seth Gross became the first wrestler in the Division I era to claim a national title, while USD's Chris Nilsson claimed the outdoor pole vault championship.
First attempt clearance and a new NCAA collegiate championship record.
No title was more stunning than that of the Augustana baseball team. After a late slump nearly derailed them, the Vikings caught fire in the postseason and went to the College World Series in North Carolina, where they'd become the northernmost team to ever win the Division II National Baseball Championship.
It's hard to imagine when we went to Hawaii in the beginning of the season that we'd be ended it in Cary, North Carolina as national champions dogpiling. So it's surreal. I mean, it's awesome.
In the fall, South Dakota's volleyball team captured the Summit League tournament title and made their first ever NCAA tournament appearance, while SDSU football made their 7th consecutive FCS playoff trip and advanced to the semifinals for a second straight year. They did so without star tight end Dallas Goddard.
The Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Goddard!
Britain native was taken in the second round of the NFL draft in April by Philadelphia, where he joined Sioux Falls native Nate Gary just 2 months after the Washington alum had picked up a Super Bowl ring with the Eagles in Minnesota. Perhaps no one had a more compelling year than Sioux Falls Christian golfer Kate Winya. In her final high school meet, it appeared Winya had won her second straight State A title, only for Kate to realize she'd made a mistake on the scorecard. Winya self-reported the mistake, disqualifying her from the tournament. The story drew national headlines and praise from golf legends like Jack Nicklaus, even landing the now Northwestern Red Raider a sponsor's exemption to play in the Symetra Tour's Great Life Challenge. Speaking of Mr. Nicklaus, Sioux Falls saw plenty of him in 2018. Nicklaus and the PGA Champions Tour came to Sioux Falls for the inaugural Sanford International. The biggest sporting event in state history drew unprecedented crowds, none bigger than the Saturday showing to watch the Golden Bear play an exhibition round. Steve Stricker would go on to claim the championship. In prep sports, led by freshman Matthew Moores, the 11th-seeded Yankton boys basketball team stormed to their first state championship in 40 years. On the gridiron, Brandon Valley and Bonham ended championship droughts, while T-Area claimed their first ever crown.
A new opportunity to really, do something special, and it's going to be a challenge.
Fittingly, 2018 would end with an eye toward the future, as Augustana announced intentions to begin a move to Division I for its athletic department. Well, the Sioux Falls Stampede could set themselves up for a nice 2019 by playing well at the end of 2018. The Herd have 3 games this weekend, the first of 2 at home this evening, as they welcomed Waterloo, and both goalies were on fire in the opening period. Alec Calaruso, a recent pickup, showing you why he's getting a lot more playing time in net as he smothers a couple of shots in tight. He had 16 saves on the evening. On the other end, Sam Stevens gets in all alone, but Jared Moe, he ain't no stooge. Nice glove save, and we remain scoreless. Best way to beat Moe is to gang up on him. Off the Jared Westcott rebound, Ryan Sullivan pokes it through 5-hole, and it's 1-0 Herd. Lead, unfortunately, only lasts about 4 minutes because Joe Cassetti will fire off a wicked wrister to tie things up. The Blackhawks would actually add a power play goal at the end of the period to take a 2-1 lead after 1, but in the second, look at this snipe from Jamie Cronella. That's top shelf, and that ties things up as you see the replay just sneaking past Mo. 2-all after 2. Third period would belong to Ethan Phillips. This one-timer, the first of 2 goals for him, as the Herd rally for a big victory. 4-2, they'll be at Fargo on Saturday night. In the NHL, the Wild are in the Windy City against the Chicago Blackhawks. First period It's time if you heard this one before. Patrick Kane is killing the Minnesota Wild. Rebound goal makes it 1-0. The Wild would come even, though, in that first period. Off the wraparound, it'll be Zach Parise scoring. They initially credited it to Mikhail Granlund, but it's Parise's goal. It's 1-1. Until the second period when Brandon Saad scores the first of his 2 goals. Kane also had a hat trick, and those were all the goals the Blackhawks needed as they win it 5-2. Also, the Minnesota Twins today have signed 38-year-old veteran Nelson Cruz. He has 360 career home runs. We're back in 1 moment.